Welcome, PAX Hospitality podcast listeners and Pennycast listeners to episode 2. It's day 2. That means there's going to be 8 more days, 8 more episodes to go. We're stoked that you're coming along for the ride. Thanks to everyone who keeps reaching out to us. Like I said, we love the contact. So hit us up, hello@pax.melbourne. Anytime. We'd love to hear from you guys. Today's episode, for a little bit of context, is what happened in this one. This timeline's so whacked. Like I really struggle to remember exactly what happened when, and I didn't get to really listen back to this before I did this intro. So it's disclaimer, it's going to be patchy, and that's okay. That's what the kind of nature of this show is. Yeah. So this episode was cool. Like we definitely did a bunch. We bagged out the agent. We got a bit of a structure in place moving forward for each episode, where we agreed we'd talk about some set parameters. One of the things we included in that parameter is that every episode from here on out, I'm going to throw a random idea at Michael and to see if he likes it or not. We also talked about staff in this one. We talked about the journey to find a chef and dropped Scott's name pretty early, which is kind of cool. So there's something there, and I'm probably forgetting a bunch of stuff, but who cares? There's going to be another episode coming out tomorrow, so whatever I stuff up today, we'll all probably forget about in the next 24 hours. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Yeah, hit us up if you have any thoughts. Catch us later. All right, so back to the pub and talking about the pub.
La Pub. I should say La Pub because there's a venue called La Pub in the city, which is great.
But don't reference that.
The pub.
Yeah. So, yeah, obviously, like, this is great, right? This is the second time I'm asking you questions about the pub.
Yeah.
So it's been a week. Has it been a week? It feels like it's been a month since
it's been 2.
Has it been 2?
It's been 2 weeks, yeah.
Has it been 2 weeks?
Has it? I thought we did last week.
We did it last week.
Yeah.
It was definitely last week.
Yeah.
But it's probably been more than 7 days, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But still, it's either fucking way. It's felt like 3 months of shit that has happened in that time.
Yeah.
All right. So a bit of a format for this is, I'm going to ask you a bunch of things, right? So give us an overview of the week. Tell us about your biggest conflict, biggest stress, any wins worth reporting. We'll do a little like spoiler alert, like give us a glimpse as to what you're seeing in terms of a product sense. I'm going to throw a random idea at you and you can tell me why it's good or shit.
I'll smash it out of the park. Yeah.
But then ultimately what we want this to be is like a real, like people out there to be riding shotgun with this process.
Yeah.
So I think let's get through the agenda in heavy quotes, and I really want to get into the real talking points.
Yeah.
Right. Because I want people that are listening to this to just be like, not just listening to people randomly talking about a pub. It's like, I want people to be able to go, oh, fuck, is that? I didn't realize that was a thing. And
sure.
Oh, wow, that's an interesting way to tackle that problem. And so I think just as a bit of a disclaimer, we're going to divulge some pretty sensitive information here. And
without permission from any of the people.
Any permission.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, but what we'll do is before we release anything, if we mention anyone, I'll ask them.
Yeah.
And if they've got an issue with it, we'll
release it anyway.
Yeah.
Again, sorry.
We'll bleep their name out, right?
Should we say the date?
The date of what? Today?
Today.
Yeah, what is the date?
So 27th? This is the 27th of November.
Yeah.
This will be released. This is Ep 2, so it'll be released towards the end of Jan-ish.
End of Jan, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to give context to timelines.
Sure. To place it.
Yeah,
okay.
To place it.
Cool. But yeah, like I said, right, I think we want to be able to talk about, who we want the chef to be and the conversation we had with that person.
Yeah.
And we want to be able to talk about the structure, right? So like last week when we were talking about it, this was not a PAX thing. This was just you doing it on your own.
Yeah.
But now you've roped us in.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
And it is a PAX thing. And, like we're involved now. Like we're going to own something. And we're pumped about it. Like it's fucking cool, right? It's probably one of the most exciting projects I've been a part of. But there's a really interesting dialogue that we need to have about how does this present from a brand perspective, right? Because it's not just like a solo thing that you're doing anymore. It's like, no, now there's another business that is looped into this. We have to have a pretty big discussion around how that works and what the implications of that are and how we manage that. And do you
do you veil it and it's like PAX is like a silent partner that no one knows about it, or you just own it and we talk about it?
Dive into it.
Yeah. Do you want to do that first? Or let's go through the icebreaker stuff.
Yeah, go icebreaker.
All right, we'll come back to that bit. Okay,
Yeah.
so first and foremost, just give us an overview, man. Like what's happened in the last 8 to 10 days?
8 to 10 days. So more investor chats, which have been great. So it's all progressing well. Discussions with the agent.
Your mate.
Lots of discussions going back and forth. Okay, this is a good one. Like in the last week, as we're doing the liquor license transfer, realised that we need to create a new company, which we're going to do anyway.
Yeah.
But rather than having it as PAX, have the liquor license, which didn't make sense. We didn't want that. We had to backtrack, quickly create the new company and entity in order to be able to initiate that transfer properly.
Right.
So I very hurriedly put together a new company and pushed it back to the agent so then he could initiate that transfer. Kind of boring stuff, but shit to watch out for.
Well, yeah, I mean, we have to fill out all those forms again.
Exactly, which is painful. And then be told that you haven't done them. And I'm like, bro, I did it twice. Only to find out, the website sucks. It's not you. It's like, tell me that at the start. Because I'm going crazy. I said to you the other day, I've never felt as dumb and smart at the same time when dealing with this stuff. It's just like, why do I feel so stupid?
But this agent's a classic.
Oh, classic.
As far as agents go.
I'm sure he's working on a few sales at the stage time. But fuck.
But look, okay, so just to be really safe here, like you did say his name, so we'll bleep that out. But you know, once we've bleeped out the name, like talk freely here.
Can we keep the bleeping to a minimum?
Why?
That's a lot of work for me. I didn't even know how to bleep yet.
I'll help you.
Yeah.
But basically on that side, it's like, I don't know, you've had way more dealings with like agents directly than I have, you know, over our careers. But this one seems like out of control. Like what the fuck?
I mean, sometimes it's, like I said before, I feel like, I'm lacking here. I'm not doing what's being asked for. That's why I'm getting all these messages, like, you haven't done that yet. Where's this?
Yeah.
But I feel like at the same time, I've been doing everything that's been asked. So it's very all over the place.
But it's
a stress factor.
Yeah. But it's demeanor, right? Because it's like, okay, let me ask you a question. You send someone an email requesting some information, let's just say.
Sure.
What is the appropriate amount of time to lapse before you then give them a nudge asking them for that information again?
If you label it as urgent,
it's
got to be over 24 hours still.
Right, still 24 hours.
Still 24 hours.
Okay, and if it's not even labelled
but if it's shorter than 24 hours, it should be a phone call. Hey, I just sent you an email just so you know it's pretty urgent.
Yeah.
That's what should happen.
So I think for me, right, like I have spent the majority of my life nudging people for shit that I've requested. And I'll say, like, if I send an email out, you know, and I don't get a response, I'm more like 3 days minimum before I'll do the nudge. 24 hours is acceptable, but I'll probably give them a bit more grace, right?
Yeah.
Man, old mate sends me an email out of the blue asking for something. I have no idea this is even coming.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not just like, I'll just look it up on my phone.
Do it in 2 seconds.
Yeah. It's like, I've got to go find this information.
Yeah.
And then it was like 4 hours later.
Where's this stuff?
Yeah, it was like, hey, mate, just making sure you haven't forgotten about me.
I honestly think he just likes contacting people.
I don't think he's random. I mean, because there was even then the random email was like, okay, I'll do it on Saturday morning when I'm hungover.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah. I was like, this
Bro,
is
who
great.
are you?
This is kind of great now.
Yeah.
I think I've just literally, because we've set up the new entity, it's all in situ now. And we're kind of past that next step. I find it's comical to me now.
Right.
Now it's a bit funny.
I'm
not stressed about it.
I feel like it's like this dude would be awesome dude to like watch a test match with at the pub over a few years, but as soon as you got to do something productive.
Is it? I think who does he go for in Premier League? Like Millwall.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
That is so good. I love this character already.
As soon as he said that, I was like, Leon's going to fucking have some yarns with this guy.
Oh, that's so good. Like if this was a TV show, like I feel like he'd be a fan favorite.
Absolutely.
We're giving away way too much information on this person. Someone's going to know this guy. Oh, that guy who supports Millwall of all places.
No, but when all this is said and done.
There's not many Millwall supporters.
And it's a real estate agent.
Melbourne. Who's the agent?
But I feel like when this is all said and done, we'll be having beers anyway and it'll all be just funny. And I think
so.
He'd just take the piss out of it.
I think so.
All right. Anyway, moving on. What else has happened?
So investor chats going well. We've chatted. What next? I spoke to my mate, long-term work friend, Nick Tessar, about the project. It's been awesome.
Cool. What was Nick's take?
Nick's take was I roped him into writing the cocktail list for us.
Nice.
As he's done for a few mates. So thank you, Nick, in advance for the great cocktail list.
Yeah.
Nick runs around with 4 pillars and his own company, Marionette. So I dare say they'll feature heavily on the liquids that go into the drinks. So excited about that. He would be the best publican in the imaginable, but I don't think I can rope him away yet from his current job. We're waiting on the chef front for Scott to come back to us.
What's your vibe? Like, give us an update on how the conversation with Scott's gone.
And
we're talking about Scott Eddington from Arnold's.
Yeah.
If there's any confusion about that.
Scott Pickett.
Yeah. We're not
got a bit on his plate.
Is that another bleep?
Yeah. The best thing about meeting with Scott was before I even got to the brief of what the food parameters were, he told me the brief.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, yeah, you get it.
Yeah.
And the references gave were like, oh, yep, this is, you know exactly
that's awesome.
How we're talking. So that's awesome.
It was such a no-brainer. I threw Scott's name up straight away.
Yeah.
I didn't even hesitate because I was just like, has him written all over it.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then when I actually called him to chat about it, because what's quite funny is how the conversation started was I literally just messaged him and said, hey, you want to go in on a pub?
Yeah.
And he basically was just like, yeah, let's chat.
Yeah.
Because that's what he does.
Great start.
Yeah. And then we just chat on the phone. Like normally with a lot of people, that would be like a full on, let's meet up.
Yeah.
And let's chat
formal.
over 17 weeks.
Yeah.
Whereas this is like, let's chat. And then we talked on the phone. And before I even said anything, he was like, he knew in the text message, I told him, he's like, which pub? And I told him. And then when we jumped on the phone, he's like, man, you know what it is? It's this. And he just literally said the brief that you'd been saying, using almost the exact same words. And I was like, oh man, we just need to get a chat happening.
Yeah.
And so then, which we did do, right? So we met there, went and grabbed a coffee at Dench, looked through the deck.
Yeah.
And how did you feel, coming away from that chat?
I felt straight away, he understood it straight away. Like I said, he said the brief without even looking at the brief, which is always a good start. And with the vibe with Scott, I always just there's a very high level of trust.
Yeah,
straight away.
For sure.
He spoke through the breakdown of investors and what the basically food partner or chef would be getting. From equity
wise.
Equity wise, he said, "Oh, why is it equity instead of just a consulting fee?" And straight away, it was like, "Well, we want someone bought in, long term. I don't want to think about the kitchen essentially from a personnel point of view. I need someone that's bought in a way that wants to build that kitchen and own it, literally, rather than there's some great chefs that do consults, but at the same time, as we know with what some consults can do, is write the menu, put the initial team together, and then in 6 months something happens and they're the first to put their hand up and kind of walk away.
Yeah, sure.
And we just don't want that. We want someone that's bought in long term with us, that works at a level that we want to work at.
I think
and it's really communicative and all the other things we desire.
Yeah, I think just to bolster that a bit, reading through the deck, and I wonder if we should make the deck visible, accessible, let people see it.
Yeah,
chuck a link in the show notes.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
And I just think when you look at the deck, something that I think is so important that comes through is understanding and accepting the responsibility that comes with the stewardship of a pub.
Yeah.
And so when you look at it from that lens, you got to have a chef. That's a part owner.
Yeah.
That's living and breathing it.
Yeah.
That's accepting that stewardship.
Yeah. Because otherwise you risk change too often.
Yeah, totally.
And
you're not doing your job properly as a steward.
Yeah, and such an important thing for a pub and any venue, but particularly for a pub around the stewardship and the community focus and sort of thing. You need a stable ship to be able to hit consistency, like we always talk about. People need to know what they're coming in for every time. And I feel like if you don't have that chef bought in and you're constantly cycling through people running that kitchen every 6 to 12 months, then you're not going to have a steady ship.
Yeah. So back to Scott though, we he was a name that went on the list amongst quite a few other names.
A few others, yeah.
But what's, I think, like, just to have emphasis on how strongly we feel about this being such an opportunity for, such a great opportunity for us and him to work together.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't even started talking to anyone else on that list. It's
I've very casually reached out to a couple of people.
Okay.
But whenever I've worked with, tried to get some great talent and work with them, I've always done hey, here's a job description.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think about it?
Yeah.
Know anyone? Like that angle?
That's the coward's way of asking a girl out.
It's
on a
so
date.
It totally
transparent.
is.
Who did it in Seinfeld? Remember the guy who's like, what was his tactic? He goes, I'll make a bet that he knows he's going to lose.
Oh, that's right.
Tim will know
yeah.
this.
All right,
Tim
I'll
will
buy
know
you
this
lunch.
reference.
Yes, genius. It was a certain person,
An
a
actor
certain actor in Star Wars.
Yeah. And he knows it's wrong. As soon as he gets it wrong, all right, I'll buy you lunch.
It's like George Clooney or something like that.
Yeah. Something
Oh,
stupid.
fuck. I mean, I've, in the past when I've done that with people, like short of putting a billboard for the job ad in front of their front door, I've done everything else. So, I mean, there's names that kind of got thrown around. Like someone I would absolutely love to work with, and I think in that setting would work really, really well is Jo Barrett. Like she's I love her food. There's a well executed casualness to her food,
Right.
that I just love. Like the last place she had was at a bowls club,
Yep.
down in Lawn,
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
and dim sims on the menu, and
Right. Love that.
and just all, fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And now she's got a pie company, Wild Pie, and I just feel that would fucking fit really well in the pub as well. But yeah, she doesn't live in Melbourne anymore. She's very busy, so it's always like that. It's with venues, it's so timing based.
Right.
Right.
Sure.
Right venue, right time, right people that are also on the right timeline to jump on and that sort of thing. So that's the tension you have to work with when you're developing a venue, right?
But it's not necessarily like a reflection on how much you might value a person or not. It's just the timing thing is important. And Scott's been first cab off the rank for a couple of reasons, right? As we've just sort of stated. But where do you land on? Because there's quite a few obvious barriers there too. Like even if Scott was like, man, I just want to fucking do this tomorrow, he's not just necessarily in a position to just jump in.
Yeah, totally.
What's your gut say? What do you think he's going to get back to us and say?
I think he'll say no, but with
Why?
some convince. Oh, just because when you have a single venue and
You're the guy.
or the girl, it's so hard to get out and do the next thing.
Yeah.
But it's the only time you double in size.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
It's a big.
It's so funny though, because I just don't see that as a barrier for him. But I also know, this is just purely logical.
Yeah.
It's actually the spark plug that can unlock exactly where he needs to be.
I mean, that's exactly what I said to him.
Yeah.
I found it really hard to grow professionally when I was doing service 5 nights a week.
Right.
It wasn't until I was like, you know what, 2 nights a week and I could work on the businesses. I could change everything.
Yeah, because it's also, it's just not where, not just Scott, you and Scott, I'd say have this in common. It's not where you do your best work.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Doing service night after night. There's people that are just really good at that.
Yeah.
And they'll never miss a beat. And then there's people that aren't so good at that and they're better suited in other areas. Like for guys like you and Scott, it's like project management, operations, solving lots of problems that are new every week. Like that, you guys are made for that shit.
Yeah.
And once you get into positions like that, you integrate, right? And your mental health goes up and your energy goes up and you just generally contribute more. But then suddenly if it's like you get sucked back into that, it's like, hey, you're going to have to do these 4 shifts. Like, man, it takes its toll.
You're in the vortex.
Yeah. So when you're in the vortex, it's hard to see the logic, But yeah.
Should we just send this to Scott?
Well, no, I'm just going to, I think where it landed was I was like, okay, I'll hit him up over the weekend.
Yeah.
And then we played a bit of phone tag and I'm expecting the same response too, that he's just going to be like, man, I'd love to do this, but I just don't want to fuck you guys around and I'm not in a position just yet to be able to, to be able to jump into this and commit my whole, all those
the classic things. I mean, which is what we already had from, talking about Reed House being involved.
Yeah.
And that was very much like, we need to get, Reed's only a year old.
Yeah.
And And that's, again, a timing thing.
Exactly.
It all comes down to timing.
But in this instance, my response is just going to be really simple. It's like, hey, outside of the business aspect, like we're mates, right? I mean, it's got a really good mates. And it's like, I'm just going to say to him, look, it's cool. Whatever your position is, it's great. Like I've learned the hard way over the years, not to go too hard trying to convince someone to do a certain job.
However.
Yeah, but in this case, I'm just going to say, look, you got to give me at least 2 opportunities to talk you out of it, or to talk you into it.
Yeah.
And if after those 2 opportunities you still don't feel any different, then it's like, man, it's cool, like we'll support you. But I just think there is that, there's a lot of value there that is worth uncovering, because even when it gets to that point of like, okay, well, I'm going to try and step away from my business and move into more of an ops role conceptually and still have that, I'm a sole trader with a business to run. It's like, yeah, but you also are going to have like the whole PAX team to help you.
Well, I think that's a big thing for us to get across, right? It's like we can support the other way as well, which could be a big win. And we, Kate's already met with him to talk about finance stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so all right, so stay tuned till next week to know whether we have a chef or not.
This episode of the Pinnacle podcast is brought to you by Industry Kitchens. Now, if you don't know Industry Kitchens and you haven't yet met Tim Keenan, I'd strongly suggest you remedy that pretty quick, especially if you actually need anything in the kitchen world. I'm talking catering equipment, any kitchen equipment, commercial refrigeration, dishwashers. I mean, these guys literally have everything right down to chemicals and stuff that you need on the weekly. Now, why I rave about these guys is because it's not just about getting the right price, right? Like where Tim adds a lot of value is he makes sure that you actually get the right product, okay? And that adds a whole ton of value on top of the actual price as well. So the biggest difference I've experienced with these guys over the years is that Tim's a chef. Often when you're dealing with sales reps in this sector, they might be really great salespeople and they've worked in sales for a long time, but they haven't actually worked in kitchens. So with Tim, you're getting someone who can bridge the gap between what you know about your product and your kitchen and what you might not know about opportunities in terms of equipment, even right down to sizes and dimensions and options. So pretty much anyone who consults Tim is going to save money, not just on equipment, but through just better efficiency and logistics. I've recommended Tim to a bunch of people over the years, and every single time it comes back with the most glowing endorsement. So if you need anything at all, highly recommend you find these guys and get in touch. Put them on your radar, and I promise you won't regret it. Thanks to Industry Kitchens. You've been an amazing sponsor of the show. Okay, what was the rest of it? So, biggest conflict of the week? Did you already talk about that?
Biggest conflict? I mean, that was the agent stuff, and we kind of got through it.
Yeah, gotcha. What are you most stressed about then?
What am I stressed about? I mean, the food partner, for sure. Because
Yeah.
then there's so many pieces that fall into place, because the structure of that back of house is obviously really important. And depending on the chef that we get, we'll change that structure. Because for Scott, if it is Scott, it's one way. Then if it's for the next person, it could be actually they don't have another venue.
Sure.
And they're going to be full-time head chef at that
Sure.
venue. So that structure changes.
It's a big impact.
So yeah, it just changes like our forecasting
Sure.
in terms of budget and all that sort of stuff. So I just need that stuff to fall. So then I feel really comfortable going into Christmas, knowing that we're coming out the other side with someone.
It's funny though, because like where my mind goes when I think about what's the thing to stress most about, I look at it from the capital component and go, okay, well,
which I'm like,
well, yeah, you're not worried about that
at all.
which is fair enough, because the deck's amazing and the conversations we're having with investors
Totally.
are amazing, and there's more conversations than there are spots to fill.
Yeah.
So that's great, but there's also way more names on the list of potential chefs than there is on the list of potential investors, which to me is always like a, man, if you don't get enough capital, like none of this is going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like, I mean, it will, it just won't happen the way we want, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, there's two ways to cut that. There's, okay, we don't get the investors we want. Okay, maybe say we get 2 out of the 3
sure.
slots filled.
Yeah.
So that means we've got 2/3
Well,
of the
no,
amount
go
of
to
capital.
the extreme. Say we get none of the 3.
We get another 3.
Right. We're just,
Yeah,
we're pouring
we
beers. and we're
really
working-
bootstrap it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
And-
and this is the way I'm sort of getting at. It's like, that happens, then it's full bootstrap mode.
Yeah, totally.
If
Spend
we
no
get
dollars.
2 out of the 3,
Yeah.
and we've got 2/3 of the capital, then the budget changes.
Exactly. And the timeline changes.
The timeline changes a little bit, the
Yeah.
budget changes.
But what I mean is like if we bootstrap it, like think of it as a journey, right? We bootstrap it, and I would say going down that pathway, it's probably 12 months before you've got the business running conceptually the way you want it.
Totally.
With all the money that you've got, you open on day one with that.
Exactly.
So then it's just a question of like, okay, well, if I've only got half the money, that journey is probably a 6-month journey instead of a 12-month journey. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Mm. Mm. Yeah, sure. Hmm. Yeah, okay. All right, what are the wins that are worth reporting?
Wins are worth reporting. I'd say definitely the investor chats.
Yeah, they've been so good.
They've been really good
Yeah.
and really positive.
Yeah.
And continuing. And that's why I feel quite confident going into Christmas, going, okay, got 2 out of 3 by Christmas. Pretty good.
Yeah, huge.
And also being able to tell other potential investors who's actually dropped in to be, like, well, this is the group.
Yeah,
right?
This is the team.
Yeah. So I think that's definitely the overall the biggest win. I think the other big win is just being able to build a relationship with the current owner.
Oh, yeah.
And not being like this, veiled thing that happens. It's just transactional. We're buying the business and don't really talk to the owner and that sort of stuff.
Right.
And
this is like quite been pretty collaborative.
yeah, I've been able to pick up the phone and have a chat to him about something. I'm meeting him today to talk about handover stuff.
Wow.
So we're just really early on doing that.
That's pretty rare.
Yeah, unless you know them already.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty rare. And just having that ability to have, having someone that's up for it, number one, that picks up their phone and said from day one, like, we're going to make this as easy as possible. And a lot of people say that. And then as you go on, it changes. But in the last few weeks, he's just been like.
Yeah, I've had an email exchange with him and that's been the first thing he said in every email.
Yeah.
It's like, I really love this place and I want to see it do well, and whatever I can do to help I'm here for it. So
love that.
That's awesome. Good. So I feel like that's a massive win because I want to, again, it comes down to stewardship.
Yeah.
It's like take over, and I want him to be able to come in and feel comfortable with doing that. Whereas some people don't want to have anything to do with it after they exit.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think, if we can achieve that, then we've won, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. So many people are just like, man, I'll throw you the keys as I'm driving away from this city.
Side note, I know.
If I can find them.
Yeah.
These are meant to be short episodes, but quick side quest.
Yeah.
When we took over Bar Liberty,
Yeah.
fucking hell. So
What happened?
Manu kind of knew the guy, and not well at all. But after we bought it, day one, like I got the key, opened the door, and instantly I knew something was wrong.
Uh-oh.
And as I walked through the building, they'd literally, the night before was their last service, had a massive party
Oh, motherfucker.
and walked out. I'm talking like beer bottles with cigarettes in them. It was literally like
Nothing trashed though.
nothing smashed or trashed, but it was fucked.
Yeah.
Like
just shit form.
it was really shit form.
Yeah.
Like I was literally day one moving into my first business, and I was
That's
like,
so rough.
"Is this how it is?" Like I'm picking up beer bottles, and the bins hadn't been put out, and it hadn't been cleaned at all. Floor was sticky, and then you go into the kitchen, and it's like the fridges had been turned off with food left in
Oh
them.
man, why?
I still smell the smell, bro. 10 years later, that smell is still back in my head of the waft of just death.
Oh man, like why do that?
Why do
It's
that?
not,
It's not cool.
No, but also remember, you can't also make too many assumptions, right? Like you're talking about, you don't know the hardships that that person was going through.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
However, like to
There's
go to the
courtesy.
extreme of having a party.
Yeah, that's almost like
And
going out of your way
to
to
make it hard.
Yeah.
And it's just like, fuck me.
yeah, they probably had a thing with the landlord, and the landlord's not affected by this.
And it's
kind
not
of thing.
us. We're not
No,
the landlord.
it's
So
just like
anyway, like that, I know that's not going to be the case.
Yeah.
last
with
little
you guys.
win, I think, was we've probably found someone great for brand stuff.
Yeah. So taking what the brand currently is, and Tim put a great brief together for a designer. And then we've got Rob, who's based over in the US, who we've done a lot of work with, good friend. And yeah, he's going to take the brand on, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And there's, again, one of those things like getting it done now. People be like, fuck, you're not opening for like 3 months. It's like, yeah, but we need the brand in order to do the website, in order to do the menus, in order to do printing on glassware, which needs to happen before Christmas. So it needs to happen now.
Okay, good segue. Printing on glassware.
Yeah.
Hit you with my idea.
Yeah. Here we go.
So a couple of weeks back, I'm at one of our favourite pubs, the Greensboro Hotel.
Fuck. Oh.
Sometimes
we don't have time to side quest the story from there.
All right, but sometimes you just have to have meetings there, right? And so I was in a meeting there and I noticed on the pint glass, guess what was printed?
The logo?
No. It was a mini little advert for like a local landscaping business.
Oh my
Sponsor the
God.
pint glasses.
Yes.
No.
My commercial brain just
way.
went. We can pay our rent on this.
Right?
Oh, we're on. We're on.
I mean, I didn't
It's
think...
going to be, if it was sick, it was either has to be like landscaping, like funny shit like that.
Yeah.
Or like just weird business, real weird business.
I think I didn't think about like fully monetizing it. I just thought of it as a way for locals
That's poor form
in the
as
community.
CEO, mate.
No.
Well,
Hang on. I'm thinking about like what's our mission, right? Enrich community is
Yeah.
the last
Yeah.
2 words of our mission.
Yeah.
I was like, man, maybe there's people in the local area that could do with some free advertising.
There's got to be something with a next door neighbor, which is a nursery.
Yeah.
Pot plants. You're drinking out of a pot.
Pot.
I haven't worked through it yet.
Pot
but
plant next door. Drink this pot.
Pot squared.
Pot squared.
Yeah.
I mean, Pinamontes.
Yeah,
It's
but
an obvious
even
one.
like the, you know what I reckon would be good is like, you know, the local footy team over 35 division need players. That's where you want to put that message, right?
Yeah.
Everyone who's watching
And I'll
the footy,
play, by the way.
Exactly.
I can play.
Okay, we'd have to sweeten the deal if that's part of it. for them.
absolutely.
But no, like I just feel like everyone who's
pretty
over
good.
35, they're going to be watching the footy, drinking a beer, going, they need players.
even on the menu
I'm
would
the
work,
guy.
I reckon.
Yeah.
So like the idea? Put it in the back
I'm
pocket?
really annoyed I like it. I'm going to back pocket that. Let me run a bit of a thought process through it. And I reckon it'll land.
All right, awesome. Stoked.
There's some good stuff in there.
Yeah,
There's some good
there's
stuff.
there's some opportunities for sure. Hey everybody, it's time for another quick community announcement thanks to the guys at Industry Kitchens. So I'm going to talk to you today about Skate Up. That's SKATEUP. If you have a kid who is thinking about getting into skateboarding, these are the guys to hit up. Arturo, who has founded the business, is an ex-sponsored skater, unbelievable coach. The program is amazing. Operating out of Eddie Gardens pretty much every single week. Skateboarding is definitely something that will change your life, whether you're a kid or an adult. I can give you first-hand advice on this. If your kid has an interest, don't make the mistake of trying to nurture it yourself, unless you're good at skateboarding. And even then, I'd be wary. Go and see a coach. It is like the absolute best way to do it. And Arturo is one of the best in the game. We've been through a lot. I take my son to see Arturo once a week. We are always on repeat there. And it's been such a meaningful change in our lives and for Van, my son, who is an obsessive skateboarder. So if you're thinking about skate classes, doesn't matter how old you are, whether it's for your kid or whether it's for yourself, head down to Eddie Gardens, hit up Arturo, and you pretty much can't go wrong. Check him out on Instagram or online. Okay, circle back to the whole like perception of like PAX owning a pub.
Yeah.
So talk us. I mean, this is a really complex issue, and I think we did a really massive full circle when we started discussing it.
Yeah.
What prompted it was, funnily enough, because it's so funny. It's like at the end of the day, there is like really, it's very straightforward, right?
Yeah.
But you can overcomplicate it if you want. And the thing that even prompted us to even think about it was the fact that we go, hey, we're doing this podcast. Where do we release it?
Yeah. Where does it go?
Where does it go? Because in your mind, you're like, well, of course it goes on the feed, on the PAX feed.
Yeah.
But then me and Varney were like, no, but if it's not like a PAX thing that PAX own, it shouldn't be there. It should be its own thing.
Yeah.
But then it was like, well, hang on, no, but PAX is a partner and is going to own it. And why are we trying to, like, why would you want to disguise that? Like, who benefits from that, right? Like, I'll be honest, in my mind, without having thought about it, the thing that kind of freaked me out a little bit was going, how would our clients at PAX feel about us
Having
doing
something.
this.
Yeah.
Because I only think that way because I'm so like wired by all the years I've spent as a wholesale supplier.
Sure. And how, the conflict of interest stuff.
And that's always this consideration. But then at the same time, it's also not, right? Like, if you're a coffee roaster and you're going to open a new cafe and it happens to be near someone you sell coffee to, like you'd have a discussion.
You have to have a discussion.
Yeah.
I think, short of opening a Middle Eastern restaurant in Brunswick East, which might upset our mates Joe. and
Well, he probably would actually just be like, hey, sounds good. Do you want some advice?
Yeah,
I'll come and
I've
help
got
you with
heaps.
the menu.
I could probably write a better menu. I think, again, like short of doing that, I mean, I already own Reed House.
Exactly.
And we've had that before even starting packs, and no one's even mentioned that being an issue.
No. Well, because it's not. It's a value
it's
add,
not. Exactly.
not a detractor.
Yeah. And I think, you and I, when we set up packs originally, the idea was always that we're going to have two arms of packs.
Yep.
One is consulting, which we built first, obviously.
Yep.
And the other is a group of venues, or group loose term, of projects we wanted to get off the ground ourselves, and we have a few between us.
Yeah. Well, the projects that on that side, it was both though, right? It was like projects that we want to start from scratch and own, because you're like a venue guy.
Yeah.
Like I want to do a skate school and have like a bunch of other ideas around that stuff. So there's always going to be that. But then there was also what we've learnt is there's all these opportunities working with people where they don't necessarily have the cash, but the brand has a lot of potential.
They need help.
Yeah. And they're like, hey, can you just be a partner and help us get this where it needs to be?
I mean, as you know, like we've already started to loosely have those conversations with people, and
exactly.
For us, it's like, well, now we have an actual vehicle for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas before it was just like you and I separately.
Yeah, people hit you up.
Like,
I guess I could do it. Yeah.
And I think the exciting thing for us is that the support we give our clients through our leadership team at PAX can be given to our GMs and VMs and head chefs in our own venues as well.
Yeah.
And it also opens up, as you said, it opens up the potential for us to collaborate even more with our clients.
Yeah, 100%.
And all the discussions we're having with partners, whether it's tech or food or whatever else, is like it opens up more potential to help each other.
Yeah.
Right? Which is, everything I've done in the past through Worksmith and Grow, like it just fits the MO.
100%.
And to me, I don't want to hide the fact that I want to own venues moving forward.
Yeah.
And I don't see why I can't help people through consultancy and own some venues as well. Yeah. And I think, and there's some people be like, oh, you got to be careful. Like, yeah, we do. And we have, and the biggest thing, as you said, communication.
Transparency.
As long as people know, they're going to, like, our clients are going to find out from a broadsheet article.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? They're going to know before this pod even gets released, obviously, and what's going on. And as long as we're transparent, it's fine. I think for us, and I said this to you the other day when we're talking through it, it's like anyone that has a big issue with it probably aren't going to be our client anyway.
Yeah.
Because there's a barrier to working with some people that don't like the potential collaboration industry, that do want to have the classic old school closed door mentality, which is fine. Like each to their own. I'm never going to judge people for that, but I don't think they're going to be our clients anyway.
No, I think that's the bit you hit on that really drove it home for me, is that like there is always going to be that conventional wisdom of like, what about the conflict of interest?
Oh man, like when we opened Worksmith, like side quest again, but I was baffled for like I had literally half a dozen, maybe 10 people say to me, there's no way you're going to get me working out of your workspace because of IP.
Yeah.
And I just like, I let them have their
bro.
piece, and then I was just like laughed. I was like, what IP, bro?
Yeah.
Like you own a venue.
Yeah.
Like we all do amazing things in venues, but IP is such a funny term to use. Totally, if you don't want people hearing your conversations, there's a meeting room and a call booth and that stuff. You can go do those in private. But just that mentality of like, well, I couldn't possibly sit next to someone. And like proofs in the pudding, like the people that worked out of that space, we had one table that was at one stage, one table was Archie Rose Gin and whiskey now, MGC, Melbourne Gin Company, sitting next to each other, and then a whole team of 4 pillars.
Yeah, gotcha.
literally within a 10-meter radius.
Yeah. Well, but there's
and it's like it's a group of people that just understand we're all after it. Like,
but even more widely than your experience, right? Look at so many other big movements that have happened. Look at punk. Look at hip hop.
Sure. Yeah.
Could any of those genres have grown to what they were if the
Without
players
supporting
in
each other?
them were having an us against them mentality?
Yeah.
No fucking chance.
way.
And I think the people in the modern era that have that conflict of interest,
Yeah.
don't take my IP, like this is a really harsh statement, but most of those people fall into one of two categories, right? They're either really old or they're really inexperienced.
Yeah.
You know, and or both, right? And it's like, okay, that's cool, right? But I think the thing that you said that really nailed it for me is that like there's people that we will be working with that just get it.
Yeah.
And there's people that don't get
And
it
it's
that we
fine.
probably wouldn't be
Yeah.
working with. And it
Yeah.
just that's okay.
And I think when people gave me that feedback, they felt like they were doing me a favor to be like,
Yeah.
well, this is just not going to work.
Yeah.
I was like, man, we had the place for 7 years.
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
it worked. And
Yeah.
it was fucking amazing businesses and people to walk through that place.
Oh,
And with
yeah.
people that had the understanding of like the rising tide
Mhm.
mentality.
Exactly.
And back on the spirit tangent, like I heard one of the things I heard really early on in relation to this was Australian spirits only make up 8% of consumption in Australia.
Right.
So like, well, if we're not working together,
Yeah,
what the fuck are we doing?
Exactly, yeah.
Oh my God, to double it would be crazy. And that would only get us to 16%.
Yeah,
like we need to work together. There's no other option.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Right, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
What a great example.
Open the door. Yeah.
Rising tide. So
Yeah.
it's great. Yeah. And I just think like it's just novel, man. You know, like I just think there's a new way of doing business, and any of that zero sum game, you know, it's about protecting my own personal, individual, you know, capital and all that. It's just there's just no room for that anymore.
Nah.
You know, and it's just as you know, Gen Z come through and take over the world, it is like really obvious what matters the most to that segment that has the highest density in society, and it's purpose,
Meaning.
it's impact, it's meaning, it's all those things. So I feel like that move is definitely in that vein, and it was really good having that discussion this week.
Yeah. Yeah. Great.
Let's wrap it.
Oh yeah, did we miss anything?
I think you covered everything. Oh, you told me your idea that I actually liked.
Oh, yeah. I wanna-
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now that we
that's
did
right.
that. Yeah.
Was that the idea? The big idea, Liam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah. All right, everything
run
on the
with it.
list is done.
Smashed it.
All right, see you next week.
Nice. Thanks, mate.
Nice work.
Thank you so much for listening to the Pinnycast. We're super stoked to be bringing this series to you, so we hope you found it informative. We would love to hear from you. We'd love some feedback. Any thoughts you have around how we're going about it would be really, really welcomed. So hit us up at hello@pax.melbourne and we will definitely be all ears and we'll respond. Lastly, just want to say massive thanks again to Industry Kitchens, to Posterboy Media. Without them, none of this would be possible. So yeah, massive, massive shout out. We're really looking forward to bringing you more. Cheers.